What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode we are returning to the White Dingo team as we continue our coverage of Rise from the Ashes. Last time the White Dingos got a hold of a prototype beam rifle. California Base falls, but Zeon brings forth the secret weapon, Astaroth. This is why Dr. Grant is with the team. She was a part of the development project. This time Machi Manito heads to Torrington Base, where EFF stores their nuclear reserves. The White Dingo team stops the nukes from being captured by Zeon, and Vish Donahue helps the White Dingos. So let's get into this. December 25th, UC 0079, the day that Abawaku will fall. But on Earth near Broken Hill, Rare and the White Dingos are moving through a fog following traces of Zeon units. Lung doesn't understand why the enemy is traveling by foot. He doesn't know of the bioweapon. Earlier, Dr. Grant explains to Rare that she was a part of the research project and had control of Zeon's data compiled from previous researchers. That is when Zeon took control of California Base. Because of the colony drop, she went back to Australia to help her family and escaped what was going on in California. She says that it was just a simple plant parasite designed for improving agriculture and helping combat desertification. However, the military saw it as an opportunity to use it as a weapon. She has never seen this in person. She only understands the research. Grant wonders if Rare suspects Lung of something. They spot a Gallop in 6 mobile suits. They think it is Zaku's and Goof's, but Lung is concerned about DOMs. Meanwhile, a Commander Nearlight is praising Ensign Adrian's abilities at maintaining DOMs. The Octopus team wants to run support for the Manitou team. They don't need to waste a GAU on transport, and they don't need mobile suit support either. They part ways and Adrian's unit heads towards a Fetty unit. The White Dingo team takes out the Goofs that attack them. They wonder if this was Machi Manito. It might be that Zeon is just getting desperate and upping their game. Tina and Gioconda are trying to catch up to Zeon's forces. If Adelaide were to fall, they were to regroup at a particular location near Broken Hill. They head to the location to find nothing, but they do see tracks. So people were just here not too long ago. A Luggin swoops down and lands. He is a part of the transport team heading to Hughenden. They hitch a ride. Stanley Hawkins briefs Rare in the middle of the night. Based on the time, Rare knows that the squad they took out wasn't the Machi Manito team. It seems it was a diversion and the real Machi Manito is heading towards Torrington Base using DOMs. Hawkins says that what he is about to tell him is deemed classified and to not tell anyone. He informs Rare that Torrington Base is where the Federation's nuclear reserve is located. Zeon is trying to access the nukes. He tells him about the rumors of nukes being used at Odessa. He is referring to Makuve's failed attempt. We also know this is the reason why the GUNDAM development project and UPO-2 will be stationed at Torrington Base in Stardust Memory. Charleville. Wait, not Charlesville? Okay, Charleville Base is connected to Torrington Base. In the events that Torrington is attacked, there is a tunnel connecting the bases to provide defense. The Charleville Base is under attack. They are sure this is a coordinated attack to get the nukes. Hawkins says that the White Dingo team is the only one they can trust to handle this. Rare wonders if they could retrieve Astaroth and prevent a nuclear attack all in one go. The team heads out in Medias. He tells the team they are heading to Torrington Base to finally take out Machi Manito. Anita wonders why they are heading to Torrington. Lung just says it is because nukes are located there, isn't it? He seems to know. They ask what is up with him as he knows way too much. He divulges that he is a spy for Jaburo Command. His mission is to protect the secret of the nukes. Then why did you just tell him your secret? He says he has more authority than Hawkins. Revealing this secret is ground for a court-martial, but he thinks his team deserves to hear the truth. But Hawkins allowed Rare to divulge this intel to his team, so he should be fine. I think he is lying, but I'm not sure. Rare talks to Lung on a private line, ensuring him that he is a part of the White Dingos. December 26, UC 0079, Brisbane Base, Principality of Zeon Australian Garrison Forces, HQ. Lieutenant Colonel Walter Curtis wonders why the team is heading to Torrington. They seem to be privy to their own intelligence. He thinks Torrington will fall into the hands of Machi Manito's hand. At the outer perimeter of Torrington Base, DOMs are taking out Type 61 tanks. Core boosters drop down and attack. At Hughenden Base, they receive an encrypted message from Lieutenant Maya. They learn Torrington Base is most likely housing nuclear weapons. This intel was obtained from Judok. During the Battle of Odessa, Amado uncovered Judok and Elron as turncoats, but it seems some of their intel they leaked to Zeon got through. Curtis doesn't want Machi Manito to get their hands on the nukes as they are unhinged. But Zeon can't afford to move troops away from Charleville to help at Torrington. An underling named Yuri suggests that they pave a path for the Federation to follow. Let them take out Machi Manito. It's a win-win for them. Another report comes in. They learn that it is the White Dingo team that is heading to Torrington Base. Yuri mentions that he ran into this team at Alice Springs, and they are top-notch. This is perfect for them, but they still need to send in their own squad. He tells them that the Thunderclap team isn't a part of the Charleville attack, and that they could head to Torrington Base. Vish Donahue was recently given a new Gelgoog, and he puts it to use. After playing with the new mobile suit, Donahue gets a message. It is Lieutenant Maya. The two get real salty with one another. She has orders for him, a top-secret mission. She gives him an encrypted message, but tells him the algorithm to decrypt over the comms. Feels like it kind of defeats the purpose of an encryption, but whatever. He reads the briefing dossier and realizes he is dealing with nukes. Maya recommends not telling her men what they are up against, but he doesn't like not telling his men that they might have to fight their comrades. He says sometimes you have to make the hard decisions. Vish Donahue is an honorable man amongst vultures trying to survive. Commander Nearlight and the Machi Manitow team has taken over Torrington Base. They were able to find the sysadmin credentials and access their systems. A Lieutenant Tyson needs 1 hour to crack the code to get into the nukes. Doms guard the outside of the base. They plan on disposing the nukes. Anita in the hover truck picks up a signal ahead of them. Rayer wants her to tap into the network. Since there is a connection between Charleville and Torrington, and they are above the tunnel, they should be able to tap into something. She gives it a try, but this is the first time she is trying something like this in a live combat zone. However, this will also prevent her from running support for the team. They could handle a little less support as their priority is the nukes. Also, they are all in gun cannon mass production types. Anita asks for Grant's help. She is going to hack into the system by going through all the higher-ups and putting their birthdays as passwords. One of these idiots most certainly used their birthday. It is only a matter of trying them all. She goes, "I'm on it." Okay, I'm in. Well, that was fast. Anita causes a distraction for the Zeon hacker to buy them some time. While doing that, they could go help the team. The Doms are outmaneuvering the White Dingo team. Mike gets in too close. A Dom closes the gap and slices down with his beam rod. Two Doms surround Mike. He grabs the beam saber, slicing down on him, but it melts his arm and hand. That's a cool shot. Attacking Mike halts the Dom's movements, allowing Rayer to move in. Mike uses his cannon on one of the Doms, blowing its head off and saving himself from taking a beam saber to the face. Rayer attacks from the back and takes out the Dom. He notes that this isn't a team. It is a bunch of lone wolves out for themselves. Their lack of teamwork will be their downfall. Without a bazooka, the remaining Dom is forced to close the gap and use the beam rod. As it rushes, Lung comes in and trips the Dom. They take it out thanks to Lung's support. Anita is trying to catch up with the rest of the team. Another Dom has the high ground looking down at the White Dingo team. He takes aim when Vish Donahue comes on the comms and tells him he is pathetic for using his own comrades as cannon fodder. The pilot looks over to see Donahue in the Gelgoog. He wonders what a Gelgoog is doing on Earth. Vish is here to take out the trash. The two have a standoff and Donahue shoots first. The Dom falls backwards and his bazooka goes off into the air. Donahue and his team fall back and let the White Dingo team handle the rest. Anita meets with the rest of the team. She tells him of the explosion that came from the Dom. It seems Zeon mobile suits attacked its own and then fled the scene. Commander Nearlight refuses to surrender. He now thinks that there were no nukes here and never were nukes. This was all just a ploy for the Federation to get their hands on Astaroth. The hacker, Lieutenant Tyson, thinks the commander has gone insane. They are going to try to break out of there by force. They will lie and tell them they will surrender in 10 minutes. Then they will split off into two teams, where they will act as a distraction. Sure enough, the helicopters take off and the White Dingo team takes them out swiftly. Seeing that Zeon would sacrifice their own men just to keep Astaroth safe, Rayer is certain they are willing to use this super weapon without any reservation. Suddenly, a broadcast is coming in. It is Walter Curtis saying their mission is successful and commence the final order, Stairway to the Moon. The message repeats over and over. As Nearlight makes his escape, he notes he has no idea what this message is all about. The White Dingo team completes their mission, but is left with an eerie message. And that will do it for this episode. We're heading into the new year, but the fighting on Earth doesn't stop. Lung may be a spy, but he is still a member of the White Dingo team. We have seen something similar with Yuji and We Are Federation hooligans. Next time, Rayer and the gang track down Nearlight's team and stumbles onto an Adsum. Someone with the White Dingoes happens to be a mole, and everyone converges on Huindin when the Machi Manito tries to take an HLV back into space. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, if you fail, just claim what you were after was never there to begin with. Peace.